This is your captain, Cryptic Gaming, and you are watching Banished Souls. So, had a question. What am I using on my Sambuck today? So, made a few changes on it. Obviously, as you can see, cosmetics, but also a few things inside the ship as well. Wanted to share that. So, if you're looking for a great all-around ship, it's going to dominate in PvE and be able to compete in PvP. This may be something you want to look into, guys. So, let's dig into it. So when it comes to our weapons, we're using pretty much the same thing we have always used, the Zama 3s. That is going to be for the bow and both the sides. Then the aft, we have the Fire Bombard 3. And of course, we're using Leopold 3 for our auxiliary weapon. I have taken and changed that around with Rocket 3s and the Termites 3s. That's up to you if it's something you want to do. It's just more materials to have to deal with. I don't really see enough of a difference in it to justify having to carry rockets around, so I just keep the mortar rounds. Okay, then of course on our armor we use the Ouroboros. You may be wondering, why not Black Prince? Is it not stronger? Well, yes, and purely cosmetic for me. I don't have issues with this armor actually not being strong enough to withstand anything in PvE, and it does a great job in PvP with that quick heal. And if you do happen to sink, it's going to automatically restore your health. It's going to get rid of that critical damage, so you're not trying to manage your way back to port to get a heal. So that's why I do run that on this ship. Now when it comes to the furniture slots, this is what I love on mine. So I use volatile fuel. This increases the charge rate of the ablaze effect on any ship by 10%. So that's going to be great for using these fire weapons. And then we have the scrapper station, which restores 8,000 whole health after a crew attack. I don't really burn through stamina with this, so that's one of the reasons I didn't use the water tank or the rigging station. So I just figured this is a great way to get an additional 8,000 health out of this, man, because it's going to queue up about every second shot. You're going to be able to do a crew attack, and you're going to be able to get those whole heals when you need them. So the potent schematics, this increases damage to weak points to enemy ship by 10%, and it's going to reveal the weak points on the fleet of pestilence. It also does that 10% against the player versus player aspect in any other ship. So that's why we put that on there. Remember, we're building DPS stuff, so I did put a double planked hole on here, increased the max whole health by 5%. Not using that, there was always that last 2 seconds. If you come into a really bad situation, that 2 seconds, this is going to buy you that 2 seconds to use a repair kit. If you don't have it on there, you're probably going to sink. So I would highly recommend putting the double planked hole on this ship. Then of course, Demi Cannon works, increase elemental damage multiplier of Demi Cannons by 19%. That's a great option. So I'm going to go ahead and answer what I figured the next questions will be. What am I using on my cosmetics and how did I get them? So when it comes to my cell color, this is Flames of Retribution, the Moonstruck set. The way I got that is grinding out the new Roadman Godin. That's the red one up north. You just got to keep fighting, and eventually you'll get a drop in a gold box. I say eventually, sometimes it can happen quick, and then sometimes it can take a while. So we've got a few guys that are still grinding that today. We come out, ended up trying to give some of the gold chest over, say, man, maybe you can get it, because the guy did it for me so I could get the black hole color we're going to show you next. And it was just rough. So the pattern that I'm currently using is called Dusk's Door. This was also opened up there at the new Man Godin. The emblem that I use is from the helm. When you go to the black market, you can pick the emblem up for 50 pieces of 8. That's up to you if you want to spend it. I did get another cosmetic the other day. So this one here we got with the gold. It was okay. And then I opened up. Let's see if we can find it here. Yes. It's called Righteous Blade Set. Campaigning cosmetic. Not real big fan of it. It came out of one of those gold chests we get doing the Man Godin ships up there. So, you know, it's one of those things. I prefer my Kraken. Not a lot of people use it, thankfully. So then for my figurehead, I have switched that to Caliban's Offering. If I'm doing PvP, I will switch over into Cold Comfort just to freak people out with that Man Godin sound. They always think of ghost ships coming in. It can buy you a second where they turn around to see what's going on. Then for our hull, it is called the Vengeful Dead, part of the Moonstruck set. Rise from the seas once more, untouched by death. So that gives it that nice black effect. Now, it looks great with the Ouroboros armor, so yeah, part of it's cosmetics why I run that, but it also is in my play style, man. I like when I brace to come back with a little bit of heal from that brace rather than just watching your shield drop each time. At least it's working towards something. Then, of course, the Quiet in the Night is the Ashen Corsair set. Then we put Leviathan on the back. I think I may actually switch that to Insatiable just to match the colors here. Now, when it comes to helm, that's going to be depending on what you want. So I usually run the Ashen Corsair set, be always ready. Pretty cool looking wheel. I did pick up something the other day that was pretty sweet. I want to switch over to. This is Blood God's Helm. I think we're going to put that one on there. Of course, then you have like the Lion Heart and the Salty Beard, which is pretty cool as well. Anything that you use that's coming from the Long Dart set, which is from the past, is going to have an eerie glow green. So if you want to add those eerie glowing greens to it, that's how you do it. You'll see a blue circle on my mast when I'm traveling around. If you look straight ahead behind the helm, you can see a mermaid on that mast. I run it there because it's a secondary to Scream, where the other one does the wailing. This one screams when you go into combat. So pretty cool little thing to have on there. Like I say, mostly psyop stuff, or if you get into those PvP situations. Again, you can switch that over to something that's going to have that Ashen Corsair fire glow, or you can switch it over to something that's going to have more of a green glow to it. That's up to you how you want to do it. I'm not really sure with the helm decor thing here. It looks like some kind of compass. I just run the Ashen Corsair set, mainly because you don't really see it. I run the Children of Dagon. That comes from the past as well. And I don't run a cat. I always switch just to a lemur. I do not know why it doesn't stay. It keeps switching back onto that cat. I'm not a cat person. They should give us a dog. So here again, the Siren Soul. But you could switch it over to this Lambent Deep, which is going to add a green eerie glow from those candles as well. So those are some options you can use, depending on what you're looking for. Then we have the Watching Evermore Ashen Corsair on top. That just has that nice little flame up there with the skeleton hanging off his mast, pointing off into the distance. And now I'm using the Ogre King Glare. If you wonder where you get that, that is a store item. If you're running through the pass, you should be earning gold instead of having to buy some, and you can pretty much get the whole set if you haven't spent it on anything, or you can pick that one up for 500. I thought it looked pretty cool. But I hope this has kind of helped you with some of the questions of the ships that we've been getting in. I want to just kind of do a little video there. And if you've watched any of our other videos, you see I mostly run the Sambuck on this thing. It's just a great PvE. When we get into PvP, depending on what the opposite team's using, I kind of switch in either into a battle bark situation or over to the Brigantine a lot of times as well. But like I say, it depends on what ships are running. I want to make sure that I'm staying competitive, understand play style changes with people. So you may come in here and not like the weapons I use at all, but understand when it comes to the Sambuck, you want to use anything that's going to give a blaze effect. So if you were, say, in this weapon here, yeah, they have the long 9 fire. Let's find it here. Somewhere in this mess of cannons, I need to get in here and sort one day. We may have actually gave that. No. So there's a fire long gun 1. We do build 3s now. I must have skipped past it. But you get the fire long guns. It's going to give the blaze effect. I want to check back through here real good. There it is, fire long gun 3. And you can get a blaze effect from it. It's going to give 20% damage, piercing damage. Incendiary shot sets targets ablaze. So you could use that if you want something long range. I would recommend using something with a blaze effect on a Sambuck. If you're not, then all you're doing is essentially giving yourself a ship with a very weak hull that's basically working off whatever the DPS is on the weapon you're using rather than getting those big boosts. So hope that helps you. Y'all have a wonderful day. Comment in any questions you have. I'll try to cover it in some videos. We've got some new videos coming in. I know a lot of us are been gaming and we are in the end game. But we do have people buying the game, and there are a lot of new people popping in from what we've been seeing in some of the servers. So we're trying to send out some videos to make it a little easier for them to progress. So if you see those new levels coming in during those smaller ships, man, stop in, try to invite them to a group, help them out. You remember the grind that we had at the beginning, especially getting into the medium holes after you're leaving the Padawan. You want to get into the brigantines and the snows, and then later into the Sambuck. And if you remember how big of a pain it was trying to find them torsion springs and drill bits, always remember where you came out of on the game and help other people out in it. So have a wonderful day.